last year at this event when I was speaking, and what a year it's been. It's been a hard, devastating year, and I look back on what I said last year, and at this event last year I talked about hope, justice and peace, and I still cling on to that because I keep on cling on to those hopes and those aspirations, but the world has changed. It changed on October the 7th with that horrendous attack, and I still call for the release of those hostages. But what came after was beyond. What came after was brutal, and what came after can only be described as a genocide, and it still goes on, but we must cling on to hope. As many of you will know, soon after the events of October last year, Plaid Cymru called for and we were the first party to call for a ceasefire, and we took a motion to the Senedd which made the Welsh Parliament one of the first to call for a permanent ceasefire. And that's probably one of the proudest moments I've had in my career in the Senedd to date. It showed that we do things differently in Wales. It gave Wales a voice, and it showed that Wales can lead the way on the international stage, and through that it gave hope. Over the last year, we have been marching, we have been grieving, we have been protesting, we have been crying, we have been holding vigils, and we have been boycotting, divesting and calling for sanctions. We have been demanding that the UK stop arms sales to Israel, and we've been raising our voice in unity. We've also been praying, but we have been clinging on to hope. But we must turn that hope into action. We saw during the general election people voted for parties who called for peace, who called for a permanent ceasefire, who called for a government to come to action. Now, words without action are meaningless from politicians in power. I call on the newly elected MPs in London to put their words into action. I know the Plaid Cymru ones already have. They've tabled amendments to the King's speech calling for a stop to arms sales. They've called on the Home Secretary for safe passages for refugees who want to join their families here. They are doing what's right and doing what they can to bring hope and peace to Gaza and Palestine. So as you ride today, you're taking action, carrying with you the hope for a better tomorrow for our brothers and sisters in Gaza and Palestine. The hope for an end to the violence, and a hope for a free and peaceful Palestine. Diolch yn fawr. Free Palestine.
Free Palestine!
My voice got a lot lower there. Thank you very much, Owen. We're now going to hear from a local poet, Ari, who would like to share some words, and then we'll share some words about our partner organisations working on the ground in Gaza and the West Bank. We'll do some road safety, and then we'll be on our wheels and on our way. So let me introduce to you Ari.
I wrote this poem inspired by the resilience of Ala Al-Dali. Ala was Palestine's top professional cyclist. He was shot in the leg by an Israeli sniper, and that could have been the end of his story. But instead, he co-founded the paracycling team called the Gaza Sunbirds. The strength and the hope Ala embodied to birth the Sunbirds after his own trauma is awe-inspiring and heartbreaking at the same time. No one should endure the violent dispossession, occupation and oppression the Palestinian people have faced for 75 years. So today, our brilliant cyclists ride in solidarity with them, in the hope that one day we can see the people of Palestine live free and soar like the sunbirds. This next poem is called Breakfast and Tea. Breakfast. It's dark down here in this pit of despair. The oppressor laughs, points down at their broken bodies and my broken heart, and says, 2 for the price of 1. They eat hopelessness for breakfast. Let liquid gold seep into the cracks your wounds have left. Let your soft soul, crushed under the weight of this pain, transform like carbon into a diamond. T. We never appreciated the dandelion, we walk past the weed, but there's poetry in its existence. Not even concrete can stop its roots from lifting the gravel that weighs it down, so the stalk of its flower can reach the sun, blossom its golden petals and transform into seeds that dance in the breeze like snowflakes of the summertime. So now we sip dandelion tea, like a sea that rises to reach the light, we too will grow. To quote the brilliant Palestinian poet Karim Wafa al-Husseini, so many problems come from mankind being unwilling to love, so let us stay loving. Thank you.
Palestine will be free.
Thanks, Ari. Okay, folks, so many of you are already very aware of the work that the Big Ride Palestine do. We're an entirely voluntary-led organisation, and for the past few years, since 2015, we've been organising multi-day rides that have been happening all across the UK and the north of Ireland. Since the 7th of October, we've switched it up. We've been doing weekly rides across the UK and internationally. We've set up new groups in Malaysia, Dublin, Jakarta, Islamabad, Kenya, internationally across the global south, and you are part of thousands and thousands of riders who've been riding for the freedoms of Palestinians in the past 8 months, so give yourselves a big cheer. Currently, as it stands, we've raised just over £116,000, which is going towards the Middle East Children's Alliance and the Gaza Sunbirds. As Ari spoke of, the Gaza Sunbirds, who initially we were supporting for Paralympic bids, have switched up what they've been doing and also turned themselves into a fully fledged aid organisation working on the ground in Gaza, feeding thousands of families, linking agricultural projects, bringing food in and resource, which is sorely needed in an absolutely destroyed strip. Ala is currently in Italy. He is the head of the team and he is in training for the Paralympics, which take place in Paris in September, and that Palestinian flag will be flying on the International Paralympic stage. So today we're going to ring our bells, we're going to raise our voices. I'm just going to hand over to Darren, who's going to do a little bit of route management and just a few health and safety things. So if you just listen to Darren, that would be fab. Thanks, Darren.
Thanks everyone, thanks for turning out today as well. So, I'll keep this brief, but it's important. So this is the safety bit. First things, this is not a race. Okay, it's a ride for Palestine, and we will ride as a group. That group might get spread out quite a long way. People in orange vests like me are the front markers. No rider will go beyond me, and the back markers, and they will not let any rider fall behind them. So if anyone has a mechanical or is feeling tired at any time, the back markers will wait with them until things are fixed up and they can get on their way again, either back on their bike or in one of our support vehicles. We've got some support vehicles following us, so we can take bikes, we can take people, should that happen. We will always abide by the highway code. That means obeying traffic lights unless you're specifically told otherwise, which I don't think is going to be the case on our ride. We stay on our side of the road and we will be courteous to all other road users. We're not here to block the road, this is not a protest, this is a solidarity and a awareness raising ride. So, riding in a big group. Many of you will have ridden in a big group before, but if you haven't, then you need to have some awareness around you. If you need to slow down or stop for any reason, you need to let people behind you know that's what you're going to do. You need to look around and just let them know. So slow down, only, just communicate. Be friendly with everybody around and let them know what's happening. If you notice a pothole or some broken glass or something on the ride, again, just alert people to that and just call out. Hopefully you won't need to overtake, but should you need to overtake, please only do it on the right, and again, announce that you're going to do so. There are going to be people overtaking, quite quickly, I hope. In yellow high-vis, these are our human signposts. They will stop and wait at junctions to let you know which way to go, okay? when they've finished at their post, and they will only leave their post when the back marker reaches them, they then need to get back to the front of the ride so that I can deploy them again at another junction. So they will be riding quite quickly, and they will be calling out, overtaking on the right, on the right. They will do it safely, and if you can help them out, that would be really, really good. If you can listen out for them, give them some space. So our route is mostly cycle paths and country lanes until we get to Bristol. Oh, and until we go across the bridge, but that is a cycle path. But it's mostly cycle lanes and say country roads. So again, we just need to be careful. We don't own the road. There might be vehicles coming in the opposite direction. There might be vehicles wanting to pass us. All right. So we just again need to be courteous. If you need a first aider or a mechanical, first aiders are in green high-vis, we've got them down the front here, and our mechanics are in purple well, not high-vis actually, but a purple vest. And I can see a mechanic back there, yeah, they're waving their vests around. So if we need a mechanic or we need a first aider, those are the people to look out for. Okay, this is a really, really important message, and I think probably one of the hardest things to do sometimes. Hecklers, we ignore them, okay? The big ride philosophy is ignore hecklers. Don't give them a sarcastic wave and smile if you're getting the finger. Ignore them. If somebody calls out something derogatory, ignore them. Don't look, give them no attention whatsoever. It's a really good way of diffusing any, well, it doesn't even start anything, but that's what our policy is, so please, even if you're tempted, don't do it, okay? Especially at these heightened times. That's more important than ever. So ignore hecklers, do not engage with them at all. Okay, that's about it really. Just to say, we're zero tolerance to any kind of hate whatsoever, okay? Whether that's Islamophobia, whether that's anti-Semitism, whether it's gender hate, no hate whatsoever on this ride. We're one big friendly family and very inclusive. We've got children, we've got very young children, we've got people older than me, and so we've got riders of all abilities and all ages. So, as I say, we'll be riding very safely and just be courteous to everybody else. Okay, I think we need to get riding.
So Darren described our philosophy. Just want to say that in our thousands and our millions, we're all Palestinians, we're all representative of Palestine today, and that goes, as Darren says, with our behaviour. So let's fly our flags incredibly proudly. Be kind to each other, look out for one another. If you need anything, ask each other. If you've got any questions, just look out for the high-vis. Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Viva! Viva! Palestina! Viva! Viva! Palestina! Okay, front monkey in position, let's go.
Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! The people united will never be defeated! The people united will never be defeated!
Stay safe, guys!
Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine!
Let's go!
Palestine! Right, ready?
Hi guys, as you can see there's a big turnout today, largely in support of the Palestinian people and the cause, essentially to stop the genocide. The bike ride is here to basically promote more positive thinking and change, essentially to create an environment where they will cease fire, just stop killing people and boycotting any number of goods, essentially putting any number of pressure points. Largely it's commercial, makes a big difference and has had a big effect, and that's what today's purpose is.
Thank you.